of it in old New York.
All right, everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Tony Talks. We're back at it live again for Friday, April 3rd, 2020. The year is now over a quarter of the way done, and hopefully things start to turn around any day now. It's been quite the year. It's been quite the chaotic year. To be honest with you guys, I have spent more time preparing for this podcast than I would care to admit right now, and I still don't feel prepared. I had the idea, I was talking about it. I made the mistake of texting my two good friends, Joe and Stefan, about having a segment on the show where you have, because I'm doing top 5 now, top 5 every episode. That's going to be the start, unless there's a guest on or whatever. I was talking with these two fools, and they were saying, oh, that'd be a good idea to do a draft, because they started eviscerating my team as soon as I told them about it. I thought I had 4 of the 5 guys on my zombie response team. So that's the theme. It's gonna be a zombie response team. You gotta have 5 people on it. The parameters are you gotta have at least one chick. You have to have no superheroes, no superpowers. They gotta be from either movie or TV. I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I got the list written out right here. So I'm just going to get right into it, because these two, it was annoying. I wanted to just fucking reach through the phone and say, shut the fuck up. But, they actually ended up making some decent points, and I actually adjusted my list based on what they said. So you're going to build a zombie response team. You got to have 5 people on it. And I gave the team a mascot too. No superheroes, no superpowers, so nothing. Otherwise, my chick on the team would be Alice from Resident Evil, so she's going to be honorable mention. Other honorable mentions include Katniss Everdeen. She was my chick until the last minute. I switched her out. John McClane from Die Hard, just because I haven't seen Die Hard, but I actually was doing more research on this than I care to admit as well. And he was coming up as a character that is one of the most badass guys on like every list. But I was like, I can't put him in because I haven't seen him. So that's another parameter, is my ignorance on the guys. And I'm also going to give a honorable mention to Jon Snow. Jon Snow probably should be on the list, but I haven't seen Walking Dead. So I can't really put him on the list because I haven't seen it. Well, not The Walking Dead. What the fuck is he on? Game of Thrones. Sorry. People get so mad at that. So Game of Thrones, I only saw the last couple episodes, and Jon Snow looked pretty useless from what I saw. I only saw the last season, but apparently he killed like White Walker people, and those are like zombies or something, or like Game of Thrones zombies at least. So maybe I'll rewatch an episode of Game of Thrones if I can be convinced to, and make room for Jon Snow on the list. But right now, I do have a 5. And without further ado, to my knowledge, to my very, very extensive, limited knowledge, this is the most in-depth top 5 zombie response team that you could form right now. And let me just say, I didn't just look for nut jobs. I didn't just I want to build a team. Oh, the other parameter is they'd have to survive all together till the end. So it just can't be, like my friend Stefan said, Rambo. Rambo might be good, but he's always on his own. We need guys that would be, able to work together as a team. All right. All right. This is serious shit. Excuse me. Serious shit. Serious stuff. So, to start off with, before I get to the 5, the team has a mascot. The team has a mascot, and the mascot is Sam from I Am Legend. Sam from I Am Legend gets the nod as the team mascot because she's a very smart dog, and I love dogs, and she would be willing to sacrifice herself. She puts the team first. She saved Will Smith in I Am Legend, so she's going to be the team mascot. She's going to be the dog that'll be looking out for them when they can't be looking out for each other on their own. Okay? So to start off, we have Samantha, Team Tony Talks, mascot for the zombie response team. Coming up next, Luke Hobbs. Luke Hobbs, everybody, yes. From the Fast and the Furious. And you know why? Because, he works well together as a team. He's the leader. He's got extensive experience with weapons. He's able to put his differences aside. We've seen him just come together with the other guy there, Jason Statham. Sure, he got together with him when they weren't getting along. And they fought for a common good and made things happen. Plus, he's played by The Rock. And when The Rock is in movies, you just know good things are going to happen. The Rock will survive to the end of everything. And so, Luke Hobbs, the number one entrant. This isn't in any particular order, but he's on the list as one of the guys to be on the team because of how well he does with others. He can learn things quickly, very quick thinker, responds to changing situations. The Rock, Luke Hobbs on the team as our fifth entrant. So far we got Samantha, we got Luke Hobbs from Fast and Furious, and we're coming along nicely already. You have The Rock, you have smart German Shepherd. They'd probably do fine on their own. Okay, next up on the list, John Wick. Yes, John Wick, for many reasons. Start, he's a badass, he gets things done, ruthless, very proficient in weapons, very proficient in martial arts. Should they be disarmed, I feel like he'll be able to get the team out of there. Should something happen to Samantha, he'll probably go crazy and kill everybody in order to avenge Samantha's loss. We know that that's a possibility because of I Am Legend. And so, John Wick, the number 2 entrant. We got Samantha, we got John Wick, we got Luke Hobbs so far. This is a dynamite team. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't miss Jon Snow right now. I don't miss him. Okay? I think we'll do fine. Next up on the list, from The Walking Dead, Michonne. That is our chick. She is clear-cut choice to be the top female to be on the zombie response team. She will have the most extensive experience with zombies because of all she's done on The Walking Dead. She'll translate. She's a natural leader. She could work by herself or she could work in groups, as we've seen in The Walking Dead. She could shoot shit up. She could also walk around with a sword and slice up fucking zombies like it's nobody's business. Michonne, the top chick to be on the Tony Talks zombie response team. So we got Samantha as the mascot. We got Luke Hobbs. We got John Wick. We got Michonne. We got 2 spots left. 2 spots left. And you know what? We're going to need somebody that could potentially feed us if we need to be fed. We need somebody that could ensure that the food keeps coming. If we get to a bug out location, we need a farmer. And I am going with who I believe would be the most, most resourceful, the most useful farmer that could be on the zombie response team. He does not have experience with zombies, but he has experience with aliens. So, portrayed by Mel Gibson from Signs, Graham Hess. Graham Hess. That's right, from Signs, because he's a farmer. He's got experience with aliens. Not necessarily zombies. Could be a very different ball game, but my thing is, if you could handle things that come from outer space, you could handle things that come from here, which is where the zombies would come from. And you're going to need somebody that has experience with agriculture, that's able to support the group and to make sure that the food keeps coming. He's a very smart guy as well. Graham Hess. Graham Hess, portrayed by Mel Gibson from Signs. Your number 4th entrance on the list. So far we got Luke Hobbs, Michonne, John Wick, Graham Hess, and our mascot is Samantha. Which means that we got 1 spot left on the Tony Talks zombie response team And I think this one was clear. This was probably the easiest decision. Because you need somebody who can not only destroy shit, who can both work on their own and in groups, who is very loyal, and is somebody that won't go crazy, but also maintain his brain, maintain his smarts. It's somebody who is very smart, and somebody who can potentially find a cure for what we have going on. That's right. We know who this is. I mentioned Samantha from I Am Legend. Now let's hear for Dr. Robert Neville from I Am Legend, the virologist. Last Man on Earth, Will Smith. Well, this would be such a cast too. We got Keanu Reeves, Mel Gibson, The Rock, Denai, Will Smith. You know, Samantha. This is crazy. This would be some cast, let alone these characters. These are game-changing characters that transcend the universes that they belong to. So coming in, the last spot, he was the number one name I wrote down, Dr. Robert Neville. If he has to, he'll sacrifice himself. Very loyal, very smart. Found the cure. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen I Am Legend, spoiler alert. Finds the cure and still is able to deter the threat. Had his whole house set up in a very amazing defense to stop the vampires. Because in I Am Legend, he didn't deal with zombies. Zombies will be new to him, but these vampires are very similar to zombies. So it's gonna be Robert Neville, our final entrant. So let's recap one more time. We got Samantha, team mascot, the dog. You need a dog. Certain circumstances like this, you need a fucking dog. You got Samantha right there. Sam from I Am Legend. Luke Hobbs from Fast and Furious. Graham Hess from Signs. John Wick from John Wick. Michonne from The Walking Dead. And Robert Neville from I Am Legend. That's your Tony Talks 5. I'll feel very comfortable going into battle with those 5 right next to me. And, you know, two characters from I Am Legend. I only want to do one per universe, but I made an exception to have Sam on the team mascot. And, you know, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Joe, Stefan, if you don't like that, go fuck yourself. My team will fuck up your team. Joe said he's going to have Maximus from Gladiator. He's what? He doesn't know how to use a gun. Fucking throw John Wick out there. Get rid of him real quick. Okay, that's it. But I did. Yesterday was my birthday. We watched I Am Legend here. My girl was getting mad at me or upset with me, or I don't know what it was, because we every time, and spoiler alert, every time the scene comes, and it's my favorite movie of all time, probably. It's one of my favorite movies. And when the dog dies, when Sam dies, I always cry a little bit. And she was like, "Babe, I swear, this dog, she's still alive. Her name is this." She was like looking up all this stuff about the dog to try to get me to stop crying. And I was like, all right, leave me, it's fine. It's fine. But you know what? It's sad. It's sad when the dog dies, because the dog saved his life, okay? And they would have never got that cure if it wasn't for the dog, because Neville would have been killed. And, you know, that's the thing about dogs. They're just so loyal, and they're the best. That's why we're going to have Sam. We're going to bring her back onto this team, and this time she's going to make it to the end. All right? You know, a lot of people were writing on my Facebook wall or whatever. Do they still call it the wall on Facebook? I don't know. You know, somebody wrote, "Hey, I know you're probably not able to do what you want to do, but happy birthday." And you know what I did yesterday? Watched I Am Legend, played video games, had pizza, had cake. All in all, I can't complain too much. You know, with all this shit, I can't complain at all. With all this shit going on, it was a very good birthday, and I'm here in my apartment that has both heat and AC and electricity. What more do you want? You know, going back to that zombie response team, if there was one type of character that I would want to add, it would be an engineer. I don't think Neville might have a little bit of an engineer background, but that's the one thing that one weakness that if we had one, which I still don't think that it would be considered a weakness because of that squad, how they would work together. But there was one thing, that would be it. All right. So WrestleMania is coming up this weekend, and we're gonna have Goldberg and they were saying Goldberg and Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns didn't do the event. They already taped it or something, and whatever. I don't know exactly what all the matches are gonna be, but I'm planning on doing a live. Like, Joe Rogan does these things called fight companions for certain MMA fights or boxing matches, or UFCs if they're outside of the United States, because he doesn't go and commentate on those. I'm planning to do something similar with WrestleMania. It's 2 nights. It's just too big for one night, as they say. Rob Gronkowski is hosting it. I'm not sure exactly who's all in it and everything, but I think I'm going to get the WWE Network membership just to watch it because, it's not like the Super Bowl or it's not like a UFC, but it's pretty, it's something right now. And I'm going to try to bring the podcast in to have like either live reactions or just to tape the reaction or whatever for WrestleMania. So what the fuck? I don't know. And they're doing it in front of no crowd. It's just, so we'll bring the crowd to them. We'll have a mock crowd, and I'll be the mock fan, because I'll have a sign in my living room that says I'm with stupid with an arrow pointing down to myself, since nobody will be there in person and nobody will be able to see the event live. So I got you back, WWE. And UFC 249. No big news with that yet since the last time I spoke to you. Brett Okamoto did a story with Khabib via Skype. Everybody's doing everything via Skype. Tony Ferguson did one with Ariel Helwani. Those are the 2 big MMA reporters in the game right now via Skype. And Tony says Khabib should be stripped. Ariel also went on a rant about Tony, people saying Tony shouldn't fight are hypocrites because Tony needs the money and blah, blah, blah. Look, how the fuck the fans know if he needs the money or not? Okay, that's first of all. Second of all, people aren't saying Tony shouldn't fight because he shouldn't get his $100,000 or a 6-figure payday. If he wants to fight, that's great. We're all going to watch it. But I think people were more concerned about him just not fighting for the title because he shouldn't take a risk in fighting if it's not going to be for the title. That was the only realm of logic that people that are fans of Tony Ferguson said. It wasn't about him not saying, how could you say, because he was going on a rant, how could you say he shouldn't be fighting? What if he needs the money? And you're going to say he shouldn't fight now after you wanted him to fight? You don't care, so you don't care about him. You just care about yourself because he needs the money. I should get that video clip. I'm going to get that video clip and I'm going to play it because it'll make more sense. Okay, here it is. Here's the clip of Ariel Helwani going off on MMA fans like myself for saying Tony Ferguson shouldn't fight.
Yeah, I think it's really selfish of people to tell them to just sit at home. Like, really, what if someone told you to sit at home and not make any money? Everyone, especially in these times, wants to make money. So we'll see how it all pans out. Good on Tony Ferguson for coming out and saying the right thing. And it's nice to see him kind of be the A side now, a guy who's been overlooked, a guy who's been somewhat disrespected. Now all eyes are on Tony Ferguson to see if he can actually make this happen. Of course, it's on the UFC as well.
When of course he should, well, yeah, I get what he's saying, but that's not what people were saying. People like myself are saying he shouldn't fight because the only fight that guy deserves is a championship fight. He should be fighting for an undisputed title. No more interim bullshit for Tony Ferguson unless he gets a fight with McGregor. But if he wants to fight anyway, we're all going to fucking watch it. If he gets a fight with Justin Gaethje, you don't think people are going to watch it? Of course people are going to watch it. But people also want to see him fight for the fucking title because it's the most overdue fucking, I don't know, it's most overdue something in like UFC history. That guy fighting for a title. Now if this thing gets pushed back, they can What if they jump Conor McGregor in front of the queue to fight fucking Habib in a rematch just because that's the most lucrative fight that'll make the most money? It shouldn't it just shouldn't happen. It should be Tony Ferguson should be fighting for the title. If he wants to fight, that's his prerogative. We're all gonna watch it anyway. It's just that he puts so much at risk. If it doesn't go his way, but hell yeah, if he's gonna fight, fuck yeah, I'll be the first one to watch. I'll be the first one to pay for it or watch it on live TV. I do think that they should definitely put on live TV if they can't get a Habib Tony Ferguson fucking title fight right now, unless they get like Usman and Torrey Masvidal, so that they still have that card. It's like nobody has any idea what's even going to be on that card at this point. It just says April 18th. They're still promoting it. You go on Google, you type in UFC 249, they'll show you the full fight card with still Tony Ferguson and Habib as the main event. And apparently Habib said, if you give me location, I will go. Now he's saying he'll go after he said he was out. So it's crazy right now. So that's UFC 249 news. Yeah, hopefully there is a card of some kind that comes together for it. That's like everything I had written down for today's show. So look, I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna start, but I'm just gonna talk now. So got some people that do want to come on the show in the coming weeks. We're gonna have Skype stuff. We're gonna have potentially in person. Maybe we'll see what happens, and it should be interesting. It should be good shit. I just everybody keeps talking about the coronavirus. I'm not even trying to mention that right now because the news is just going to be more and more devastating because we're not even at the peak. We got another 2 weeks to go through this stuff, and it's going to reach its high, reach its low. Oh, I know what happened to me today that I could talk about. I went to I had to get a drug test for a job, and they sent me to a Quest Diagnostics, which was interesting. And all the signs outside the Quest Diagnostics are, if you have COVID-19 symptoms or if you have tested for COVID-19, please do not come here. We do not do the testing here. All the chairs inside the waiting room are spaced out to like all the corners, like one in the middle, at least 6 to 10 feet apart. They all are. There's no teller at the window when you walk in. They just have an iPad that you just click buttons on, and then you write what the fuck you're there for. Then eventually they come out and they call on you, and they have all their masks on. They got like face guards on. The people in the waiting room, half of them had nothing on. Probably more than half would just like sit. They were just like sitting there. I went in with a mask and gloves on. I threw the gloves out after every room because I don't want like cross-contamination shit. And then I brought extra gloves in with me. And then when I was leaving and I was opening all the doors, I took one of the gloves out of my pockets and I was just opening all the doors, and then I threw that one glove out before I got out of there, just to try to avoid the cross-contamination thing. You can't take any. I'm not taking any chances with this shit. But yeah, it just seemed so somber in there. And then the nurses or the doctors, whoever would help you at a Quest, they have everything on head to toe, full mask, face guard. I felt weird. She asked for me for my driver's license. I had to give her my license. But they were washing hands. They made me wash my hands before anything. And before I came out of the piss room. So, I don't know, yeah. I did not want to go there, so I was just like, man, this seems like a real sketchy place to be going to right now. But fuck it. I went in and I got I pissed in the cup. And then I got out, so whatever. That was my little experience at Quest Diagnostics. There was a guy coming out as I was coming in, and he like held the door open for me. And I didn't look at him, but it was like, fuck, I have to come within so many feet of this guy. And I just held the door as I walked past him, and with like my knuckle, because I don't want to put my hand on it. And I just took the gloves off. It was, maybe I should get out more. I was listening to, it's weird when you hear people talk about large crowds now, and people are speculating if that's ever gonna come back. Like, music concerts or like giant venues of people being in tight quarters. And I think it should. I think people. I mean, I don't know, but I would assume you get this virus under control, and eventually, life should be more or less back to normal at some point. I think people will wear gloves not gloves, mask, or cover their faces more in public. But, people were doing that anyway, just not to a high extent. So it's nothing like too foreign. And if we get these cases eventually down to zero, why can't we still go out and have crowds of people? I mean, it's things like that typically would be a public health risk to some extent with or without a pandemic going on. But I just don't understand why we wouldn't have concerts or comedy shows or anything like that where there are large crowds. Maybe, which, I'm not a crowd person. I'm definitely more of an introvert or somebody that is a homebody at the very least. But, I still would. I mean, I can't wait to go. We were going to go to a comedy show for my birthday. We're going to see Bobby Lee. And I didn't even get a fucking email saying that it was canceled or anything. But he definitely didn't have a show. And I'm sure it's just going to be rescheduled. I got to go check his Instagram to see what he ended up saying about it. But, So yeah, hopefully this shit just eventually blows over like anything else. Like we get it down to zero and we could just resume to life as normal. Still been watching Entourage. That seems to be the go-to show for me. Still studying data science. I didn't study like at all yesterday, but I have class tomorrow. And today I spent all day preparing on the zombie response team that got eviscerated by my two jerk-off friends. So, whatever, we'll see what happens. And yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. Thank you everybody who wished me happy birthday. It was a very good birthday. Thank you to my fiance Delasi for making pizza, and my dad for ordering cake, and for my mom for calling, and and my brother who played we played Heads Up over FaceTime, which was interesting, and that was a lot of fun. So even though people are apart, there's still ways we could all come together. And on that note, I thank you for coming together with me here today, or for whenever you listen to this, because there's a lot of sensationalism, there's a lot of stuff to fear, but especially in today's world, we could find ways to connect with each other. And in the long run, I think we're all going to be better off for it. A lot of stuff sucks because there are people that we know that are close to us, that a lot of people are going to have to say goodbye to somebody while this stuff is going on. But for humanity and as a whole, we will get through this. And carry those people with you would be what I would say. Carry what they did, their lives, with all of us as we go forward. And remember what they contributed and what they were able to do for people and why you were close to them. And take that love. Honor them with that love and give it back. I don't know. I should not be talking about this shit. I'm just some fucking idiot talking on a microphone. It's getting a little deep there for a second. I just want to stay at home, you guys. Make sure you stay at home. Stay at home. Stop the spread. Like Donald Trump said, make sure you stop the spread. Like Donald Trump said, make sure you stop the spread. Okay, don't forget. Tony Talks 8 is the Instagram page. Tony Talks 8 is the Twitter page. Tony Talks 8 podcast@gmail.com is the email. So send an email if you got any thoughts on anything you think would be good to talk about. Follow me on the gram. Follow me on the Twitter. I'll tweet you back. I'll follow you back. And, that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming in. And we'll talk to you next time. And have a good weekend, everybody.